Now, you heard me mention the other job before, which was helping to grow a company of 13 people called Fleet Call into the company now known as Nextel. You know, cell phones have become such an important part of our everyday lives that it can be hard to forget, or hard to remember that if your car broke down on the side of the road in the old days, you were stuck. And it can be hard to imagine living without them. With the benefit of hindsight, the very idea behind Nextel, this company I joined as the 13th employee, it seems like an obvious idea, but it wasn't always that way. Now, as you know, cell phones don't work for very long unless you've been able to weave together a strong network. At the time, there were these large and powerful institutions, companies, that tried to squash our innovation and our enthusiasm. People told us that it wasn't worth it, that these entrenched powers would never let us succeed. But we believed in the power of our idea. We believed that if we were willing to think differently, to embrace opportunity instead of shrug it off, we could challenge these entrenched powers and we could win. Now, the people who were closest to us knew that our dream was worth working for, was worth fighting for, no matter what the opposition, and they were right. Now, 8 years ago, when I first ran for public office, many people said the same thing as they did about our efforts to build Nextel. They said that somebody who was not a political insider could not win. Yet today I stand before you, still a proud Democrat, and with a fierce, independent streak in terms of the approach that we bring to state government. Believing that there's much more to be done, that this is still a job worth fighting for, and I'm really proud that you're here with me. Now, during the course of this campaign, you may hear from my opponent who wants to abolish the office of State Treasurer entirely, to turn it back into a pen and a series of blank checks. But we know that Delawareans deserve more. We know that the Treasurer's office should be an active advocate for taxpayers and an independent voice for better government. And we have a record of results to back up our beliefs. First, I am very proud of my staff for making the office of State Treasurer so effective and so efficient. From the investment of the taxpayers' money, to the reconciliation of the books, to getting people paid, and many other things as well. Our innovative Earned Income Tax Credit program ensures that hardworking Delawareans receive the full fruits of their labor, and it's returned tens of millions of tax dollars to working families. And while I'm talking about that program, I do want to acknowledge Bernice Edwards, who is here. Bernice has been our partner through the First State Community Action Agency. And last year, actually the last 2 years, Bernice literally outfitted a mobile vehicle with 8 computers, and they take that vehicle to rural parts of Kent and Sussex counties. They take it where the people are to provide free tax preparation. I see Zaida Guajardo here, and I think that La Esperanza is also one of our tax sites. These kinds of efforts are true partnerships between us and the people out in the community. Our award-winning Health Rewards program will drive down healthcare costs and drive up the quality of life for so many state employees, and I'm grateful to Mark Brainerd for suggesting this terrific idea in the first place. Our Purses to Portfolios educational series has helped thousands of Delawareans understand and improve their personal financial situations. And our city-state partnership with the Export-Import Bank of the United States will help Delaware companies grow through sales to customers around the world. Now, these things could never have happened if the office of the State Treasurer had been replaced by an auto pen and a spreadsheet. And we have ideas for the future that will benefit Delawareans. First, let's make contributions to college savings accounts tax deductible. As Representative Bill Overly recognizes, with his legislation to do exactly that, families are stretched by college tuition, and now is the right time to make this change because the federal legislation recently passed making tax benefits permanent. I will continue to develop the municipal finance forums that help local finance officials like the mayor here. Mayor, thanks for being here. Throughout the state, access the best minds and cutting-edge solutions. Wilmington City Treasurer Henry Sapinski and I started these, and we will tackle the tough issues facing government. We should implement an anti-fall initiative for seniors. I don't mean anti-autumn, I mean anti-fall. Building on the findings and success of our consumer tool chest. You know, one of the most significant risks for our older citizens is that of falling. and that can result in serious injuries or worse. Some states have significantly reduced falls, and they've saved money in the process through multi-pronged anti-fall campaigns. Seniors are also a growing part of our state's population. The changing face of Delaware, and what we as leaders need to think about for the future, will be a part of a discussion series I will be hosting. The series will focus on the results of an in-depth analysis of Delaware's changing demographics, which will be finalized in the next few months. And we need to make it easier for teachers and other education employees to purchase a home. In partnership with the Delaware State Education Association, Fannie Mae, private developers, realtors, have the two of you up here together, and the banking community, I will be launching a series of statewide sessions to help members of the education community understand mortgage financing, their credit scores, and prepare to purchase a home. My hope is that these sessions, which will be held this winter, will be the model for reaching other workforce groups throughout the state. Now, I know it's been a long time since I worked in that stockroom, or since Carla and I worked together at Friendly's, or since I shared that room with my older brother off of Kirkwood Highway. But the lessons that I learned then, the examples that my neighbors and parents set, the high expectations that adults had for every child, and the belief that the American dream was attainable by everyone, gave me confidence as a kid that I could accomplish whatever I set my mind to. And those teachings have shaped my life and my outlook in so many ways. The Delaware where I grew up was a place of hope and of promise. It was a place where neighbors cared for each other, where our leaders spoke from the heart, and where we had faith in our future. It was a place of unlimited potential. It was, and it still is, a place marked by innovation, compassion, commitment, and shared purpose. I am running for re-election so that my son and daughter, and your sons and daughters, will be able to say the same thing to their children. Now, it's time to get to work. Thank you.